This 1 Degree Outside video is sponsored by the Topsfield Fair, America's oldest fair. You can pre-order your admission, meal, and ride tickets today at topsfieldfair.org and join the fun October 4th through 14th, conveniently located on Route 1, just off of Interstate 95.
Hi, Matt Noyce Insights video, the deeper dive into meteorology here at 1 Degree Outside. Of course, if you're looking for something simpler, you're probably looking for 1 Degree Outside today, or our weekend edition will be out Saturday morning. And all of that's found at 1degreeoutside.com. Last 24 hours have been dry across the country. You've had the most rain along the Gulf Coast. This was expected. We've been talking in Insights about the split flow in the jet stream, the subtropical jet carrying the moisture, the northern jet, the westerlies, carrying along the energy. Two dips that we're watching in the jet stream right now, we call them troughs. They tend to produce more in the way of clouds and showers. One coming through the Great Lakes and headed to New England. The other one in the northwestern U.S. and headed to New England as well. So let's cover the timing on this and how we think it's all going to break down and impact our weather. We'll first start out with a plot of atmospheric energy just below the jet stream level, about 18,000 feet, a little bit closer to the ground. This is usually where your energy comes through that impacts us at ground level. And you can see that energy dipping down over us with the yellows and oranges and reds. This would be during the overnight tonight, Friday night into early Saturday morning. Then when it gets out, you get improvement for a lot of the weekend. Next round of energy mostly organizes up in Canada, but by Sunday night and Monday, an extension of that energy comes down over us, drives another cold front through, brings an increasing chance of showers again, and on Tuesday, one more follow-up disturbance could breed at least some building clouds or a chance of showers to build as well. In terms of what's happening at the surface, I mentioned that each of these disturbances brings a cold front. So today you've got that cold front kind of coming in toward New England. Not here yet, which is why we've warmed up nicely. And even on Saturday, it's gone, but the colder air doesn't come spilling in right away. So Saturday still squeezes out 70 in a bunch of spots. Sunday will not. Here's the next cold front that I mentioned. We'll talk about that here in just a second. In terms of high temperatures for your Saturday, again, I mentioned here at home, 70 or better in southern New England, 60s in the north. Here's the heat, 80s and 90s across the Central Plains, and the real heat is in the desert Southwest, where we've been setting records in places like Phoenix for most heat this late into the season. It's going to ramp up again as we head into the upcoming weekend out there. So there's still a lot of heat to be had across the country. Again, here at home, we'll get ready Sunday with a great day for another follow-up cold front with that next disturbance Sunday night into Monday to raise the chance of showers. But you can see some of that cooler air at home, temperatures in the 60s and yellows. And again, the warmth still built up across the southern plains, certainly. In terms of rainfall over the next 48 hours, don't expect much, maybe a tenth to 2/10 of an inch of rain across the North Country, New England. Most of us don't even get that with the showers that slide through on Friday night into Saturday morning. As you might think, having the dry weather does promote a fire risk. It climbs to a moderate to high across the nation's midsection. At home in New England, look, I can't tell you that we're not at increased risk for a couple of grass fires, but generally, I think what we're talking about is the wind is not going to be strong enough to be that big of a problem. In terms of the drought monitor, it was just updated yesterday by the kind of U.S. government and university consortium that puts it together every week. Yellow is abnormally dry, but not necessarily drought. Brown would be drought, and then the reds are where you've got severe or exceptional drought, and that's what you've got going on in portions of the Ohio Valley, and also when you get into parts of the southern plains. Here at home, we are not in any type of severe drought. I know a lot of us could use the rain. We are, though, in a moderate drought, the lowest kind of drought classification, from the New Hampshire seacoast down into northeast Massachusetts, eastern Essex County, and then running up the coast of Maine. Certainly we could use the rain. These spots tend to have been avoided by most of the rain that's come through. In the tropics, there is a lot going on. We've got Kirk, which is a monster in the central Atlantic. We'll look at that in a second. Leslie is behind Kirk. Not set in stone that Leslie will recurve. Kirk's going to recurve, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Leslie, we'll see. And then there's this area of developing tropical weather in the Gulf of Mexico. It's not guaranteed to develop. It's a 40% chance. But it's high stakes because if it develops in the Gulf, and there's still a lot of warm water in the Gulf of Mexico, it would likely head toward the west coast of Florida and arrive at the middle of next week. So that's going to be something we're going to watch very carefully in Florida. We'll be watching throughout the course of the weekend with updates on that. Meanwhile, Kirk, again, a major storm here. You've got a tremendously well-defined eye on a Category 4 storm that thankfully is going to stay out over the ocean. Look at these gusts to 175. Interesting, I mentioned Florida watches the Gulf at midweek next week. Well, you know who's going to watch Kirk at midweek next week? This is kind of crazy. Europe. This thing ends up recurving, going all the way across the Atlantic, and still is predicted to be a 65-mile-per-hour storm at midweek as it starts to come in south of the United Kingdom. So there you go. You'll be watching that on the other side of the world. Meanwhile, here at home, again, we talked about the disturbances coming in, talked about how tonight there's a couple of showers. They're out in the early going on Saturday. Nice improvement after that. Sunday looks very good. Gillette Stadium looks excellent for the Patriots. We've got a Patriots forecast. It's out at 1degreeoutside.com. The next cold front comes in with that next disturbance we looked at for Sunday night into Monday. Showers Monday morning for the kids at the bus stop. Showers probably through at least midday Monday. If an area of low pressure develops along the front, it actually might extend the showers into the afternoon too. So the end time is a little bit TBD. I'd encourage you to keep posted with our app on that, the hourly forecast, as we get closer to it. It does improve, though, not only Monday afternoon, but Tuesday, when you might find some bubbling clouds or a shower in the afternoon, especially in northern New England. Highs on Saturday, 70 or better in southern New England, 60s when you come across the north. Topsfield Fair looks absolutely awesome for Saturday. It's going to be about 73 degrees. I think any showers are gone by fair time, so that we're looking at a fantastic day and evening all the way through. Saturday night lows go to the 30s in northern New England. Do we get a frost out of it? You know, it's not impossible in Coos County, when you get around First Connecticut Lake, for example, that you might be able to get a spot of frost. Most of us are unlikely to do it. We get into Sunday and temperatures are in the 60s instead of 70s, so you've taken one step down. That cold front Sunday night and Monday with the showers that come through, and it looks like Monday's temperatures are kept down with a combination of clouds, showers, the cooler air streaming in, only about 60 to 65. And then likely Tuesday's very similar. In fact, some of northern New England gets so much into the cooler air, highs in the 50s. Now you've got a frost in the North Country as we get the chance of that anyway, as we get into next Tuesday night. So that's something we'll be keeping you posted on, certainly. In the meantime, of course, you can always follow the forecast every step of the way with our app. Just look for Noises 1 degree outside weather. You'll find it on the App Store and Google Play. This has been your deeper dive into insights heading into the upcoming weekend. Hope you have a great weekend. Don't forget, we'll have a weekend edition update for you first thing on Saturday morning. Coastal Marine forecast will be posted on our page before the weekend begins. And as I mentioned, you can always check back in for updates too for things like the Patriots forecast. Hope you have a great one.